Hey guys, welcome in. I hope you all are doing all right. My name is Brianna, and this is going to be a quick astrological update. Today is Monday, April 27th, 2026, and the moon is currently in the sign of Virgo. Now, this week, leading up to the full moon in Scorpio that's going to be occurring on May 1st or May 2nd, just depending on where you are in the world. This week is going to be a week for processing, sorting, regulating, grounding, and stabilizing our emotional energies in preparation for this grand release that is the Scorpio full moon. Now, in my most recent short, I talked a lot about how embodying an energy of like calmness, groundedness, present focus, and awareness was helping us facilitate or initiate this purging or this cleansing of old frequencies stored within our subconscious that linked us to previous cycles or previous timelines. We were resting and relaxing so that the divine could help initiate, or it was like a separation, a sorting of frequencies, right? Where our energy was being purged and cleansed of past energies and frequencies that connected us to past timelines, and we were being resynced or rerouted to new frequencies or new potentials or connected aligning with this new beginning that is unfolding. That energy is carrying over into this week as we lead up to the full moon. Now, this week, we still want to take it easy. We still want to be present and we still want to be focused and clear, because the energies that we are releasing, they will attempt to come back up, right? Those frequencies, those emotions that we are releasing, they will come back up to test us to see if we're actually ready to fully release them. So we want to be present, clear-minded, and focused on what it is that we're separating ourselves from, because this full moon is going to further facilitate or solidify the separation. So today we have the moon in Virgo, and this energy is going to be helping us sort, process, and regulate our emotions. Virgo is a sign of purity. In astrology, she's called the Virgin, but it doesn't have anything to do with sexuality, right? It's just about cleaning up and purifying your energy, your vessel, so that you can perform at the optimal level or produce optimal results, right? Virgo is all about facts, receipts, and results, and she rules the habits and routines that ensure successful results, right? So Virgo energy, the moon in Virgo, is helping us to process and regulate our emotions. And then the moon is going to move into the sign of Taurus tomorrow, I believe. So tomorrow and over the next 3 days, we have a Taurus moon, and Taurus is a very like grounded and stable energy. So the moon in Taurus is going to be helping us ground and stabilize our emotions, all in preparation for this full moon in Scorpio. Now, I won't lie to you guys, the full moon in Scorpio has the potential to be volatile, just very intense. And it has a lot to do with the energies, right? Scorpio is a very intense energy. Scorpio is a water sign, so it's connected to our emotions, but it's not like the other water signs. Pisces is a very high vibrational water sign that connects us to spirituality, creativity, and inspiration, forgiveness. Cancer is a water sign that connects us to love and comfort and feeling like nurtured and nourished. But Scorpio, I don't want to call Scorpio a low vibrational water sign, but it is ruled by Pluto. And Pluto is the underworld, right? So Scorpio is going to be the water that flows through the underworld. So it's going to be our deep emotions. Plutonic energy is connected to like subconscious, even like past life. So these are like past life emotions that we're preparing to release at the full moon in Scorpio. So when we put these energies together, Scorpio and Pluto, results are, I want to say, shadow work. Shadow work that leads to some, it's like a deep subconscious transformation, something that has been stored within your root, within your base, something that you have perhaps carried with you throughout lifetimes. It may have been like this painful frequency because Scorpio energy is often associated with like painful or intense emotions, but there's something being cleansed and released underneath this full moon as long as you've done the preparation work, or as long as you are doing the preparation work to align with this release, right? So there's like some transformation of the shadow. In order for this to happen, right? In order for this transformation to happen, we had to become aware. There may have been some sort of test, or there may be some sort of test like incoming. The test is to see whether or not you're fully ready to release this frequency. And all of this is in preparation for what's to come, you guys. I pulled some cards, and here are the cards that came out. We have the Death card, which talks about moving through intense emotions to facilitate a transformation. We have the Judgment card, which talks about evolving, right? Rebirth. So it's death, evolution, and rebirth. And here's the new beginning. This new beginning is Uranus transitioning into the sign of Gemini. There's a new beginning unfolding, you guys. I feel like it's already been solidified. There was this gateway, there was this portal activation or this opening. It was brief. I want to say that it was on April 25th, April 26th, when when Uranus moved out of Taurus into the sign of Gemini. This transitioned opened up a gateway that took a snapshot of our frequencies and coded our new reality. So our new reality has already been coded. This full moon is just further helping us release old frequencies. Okay, so the full moon in Scorpio on May 1st or 2nd is going to be making a trine to Jupiter in Cancer. So this is a supportive aspect, you guys. Jupiter in Cancer is providing like emotional comfort, right? Emotional support, nourishment, and just a sense of being like held and cocooned, protected and supported as we move through the intensity that is the full moon in Scorpio. Now the full moon in Scorpio is also going to be opposite Uranus and Gemini. And remember, an opposition is like, it's a clash, it's a fight, or it's like a push and pull between opposing forces. So the full moon, intense emotions, deep, maybe trauma, pain, emotional pain, suffering, something that linked us to a karmic past, that energy is going to be in opposition to Uranus and Gemini. Now remember that Uranus is the planet of radical reorientation. Gemini is a sign of communication and sending energies, informations, data back and forth. So something wants to change Uranus and Gemini, and I feel like there will be a change once the sun moves into the sign of Gemini and activates this Uranus Gemini transit. There will be some sort of change activate it, and it's going to be a life altering change because Uranus doesn't play small, right? So something huge is going to be activated once the sun gets into the sign of Gemini. But for now, we have this full moon in opposition to this change that wants to occur. So this is like the battle between painful emotions and the new start that we want to be consciously aware of, and we want to take step by step actions in order to ensure that our emotions don't get the best of us. It's easier to do this when we're slowed down, grounded, and present. Now, here's the thing that I found particularly interesting, right? Uranus and Gemini is making a trine to Pluto. And remember that Pluto rules Scorpio. So the ruler of this full moon, Pluto, is in communication with Uranus. And remember that the moon is in opposition with Uranus, but Uranus has Pluto sending communication to it, and like this communication is then being projected at the moon, our emotional subconscious, and the communication is coming from Pluto, the lord of the underworld. So Pluto is like giving Uranus all of this ammo, this fuel, and the ammo is simply the energies, the frequencies stored within our personal underworlds, right? I know when I talk about, or when we talk about underworld energies, some people, they get turned off or they get afraid because they would much rather be light and love, right? Everything's light and love, but that's not reality. When we are incarnated, we are literally in an underworld, right? We descend into an underworld of its own. And we have to move through these intense energies, like all of these shadow energies, this darkness, in order to reach enlightenment, right? That's what this journey is about here. Moving through the shadows to reach enlightenment and activate new beginnings. So Pluto is in communication with Uranus, throwing all of our stuff, our hidden stuff, the stuff that we try to suppress, ignore, those wounds, those pains, maybe even like past life traumas, because Pluto does rule, or Pluto holds past life energies. So Pluto is sending all of this stuff to Uranus. Uranus is sending all of this stuff to the moon, and the moon, I don't even know what to say. The only thing that we can do is ground, right? Ground and prepare. Ground and prepare and kind of just focus on. Spirit says don't focus on the new beginning. The focus has to be present. So we can't bypass. I've been seeing like red cardinals all over the place. One landed on my windowsill this morning as I was like manifesting, visualizing, and setting intentions. A red cardinal landed on my windowsill, and for me, red cardinals are like, slow down. They're like red flags, right? Slow down. You don't want to miss this. You don't want to move too quickly, right? So this new beginning has already been snapshotted. Our frequencies have been routed to, I want to say, like, program the simulation that is our new beginning. And this will be activated in Gemini season. But for now, we're here. And Spirit wants us to Taurus energy, right? Move slowly, step by step, through this process. You don't want to skip any steps. It's important that we take our time to, I want to say, fully understand what it is that we're letting go of. Fully understand what it is that we're letting go of, so that if we just try to zoom by it, then maybe it won't hit as hard as like being intentional. So this is a process that we can't rush through. Slow and steady, or a slow and steady pace, is going to help us win the race. And moving through these tougher energies, these more intense energies, these uncomfortable energies are what guarantee solid success and solid results once it's time to move forward. Like I said, our energy has already been snapshotted when Uranus moved into the sign of Gemini. There was like a gateway opening. That's why we were asked to slow down and be present and grounded and aware, because our energy was snapshotted and those energies were funneled off to prepare our new beginning. And now we're here working on further releasing what no longer serves so that we can fully align with this new beginning that is occurring in May. Okay, you guys, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you guys for being here, and I'll see you on the next one.